Well, welcome to Boatability, and thank you for choosing us to do your PPR Professional Practices and Responsibilities course with. If those of you are just browsing on the internet and just clicked on our site and come across the video, what it is we're just going to talk about how to log people into the site to get started. To do that, you will need a username and password. So if you haven't already got one, please email us at boatability@gmail.com and we can help you out there. So those of you got here get ready to start the course, you simply need to go to the commercial training section at the top here, click on that and click on RIA PPR. Once you've read what all the information is and we've sent you your username and password, all you need to do is scroll down to the bottom here and you will click on the Sign into Boatability's interactive website. If you've signed in before, you will be presented with this screen here. Once you've logged in, which is this screen here, so your username and password will go into there. But what happens the first time you log in is you'll go into this section here, click on login, and then the next screen that you will see is this one. This is the first screen that you'll see. So as you can see, that is just a fictitious one, and you need to fill out all the fields that have the red asterisks alongside them. So you just follow that down through, fill it all out as you need. For example, email display is you can select if you want to hide your email from everybody there. So you just click on that. I'll just leave it so anyone can see our details. Okay, put out your information. If you want to put a picture against who you look like, you can choose a file from your computer, put that in there. You can put your interests in. As you can see, we're quite keen here. Phone numbers and then address, and you can see all the asterisks are here, so it must be completed. Now, a very important thing to note is to put your date of birth in, you must click on the enable button here, because you need to have all of these completed. If they're not, you will not be able to start the course, okay? And then once you've done, you click on the update file. Now, just a point to note is the test student, things like that, some of this stuff, it may come back and say it must be in lowercase. If it does, then simply change it. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the update profile like you'll do, and what will happen is that it will now take you back to the screen like so. So once you've done that, that's just telling you that you can read your information to make sure it's all correct. So this time I can now click on the home or back to course button. It doesn't matter which one you click on, because what it will do is it will take you back to this page here. Okay. Now as you can see, we've only got the one course selected. These are other courses available. But I'm just going to click on the Professional Practices and Responsibilities course, and then it opens up here. Now, make sure you read the information about the course that the RYA have put. It tells you how to, about before you start the course. They also have a video, which I suggest you have a quick look at. And then once you've gone through that section there, get onto the bit here. This is now preparing you for the course, so it tells you what it's all about. So essentially, the PPR course is about the commercial environment, the people, the vessels, and the purpose of you, or of the things together. Okay, so what we're going to look at now is the glossary, which pulls all this together. Now, the glossary is just a range of terms that is involved with all of this information on how to find your way around the various documentation, etc. So, yeah, it's got the tips on how to use it, but essentially I'm just going to show you anyway. So if I click on there, what happens is it allows you to search by alphabet. So for example, if I typed in C, it would come up with that, so I can just click on there. But I'm going to use browse by category, so you might understand this one a little bit better. It's the one I prefer to use. So if I want to, like, for example, look for risk, I can simply type on risk in there and now click on search, and it will search the database that it's got there for anything to do with the risk. So here, code of safe working practices, etc. So let's have a look at that one, or the small vessel code. So I click on there and it tells you anything to do with the small vessels code, which is MGN 280. I can download it as a PDF and so on. Now, those of you who aren't familiar with PDF files, they're very, very useful. So to save me already opening it on this one here, I've already opened one, and I'll click it on here, which comes up with this. Now, I'm using a Apple Mac. Now, as you can see, this one's telling me I'm on page 134. And if I want to find a particular word, for example, I'm looking how to brief a skipper, and I need to know what the MGN 280 is about, I can just go straight up to the search box in here, and if I type in brief, for example, it immediately finds anything to do with briefing. So you can see on here, page 13, page 79, I can either hit the enter key, or I can simply click on the pages on the left hand side where I am. So just to show you the enter key, it goes there, and you can see it moving down. So it's a very useful tool to find things quickly in the documents. So it might be worthwhile, once you've got your way around or your head around the actual requirements of the PPR, is you open up the documents that you find relevant. Okay, so that's how that works. So I'm just going to go back to the course, and it'll take me back to the beginning there. Okay, so work through these things here. So we'll have a quick look at what it's about. If I go to the commercial environment, for example, and it opens up this page here, click on the enter key, and now it will open up, hopefully in this screen here. If it doesn't, the RYA haven't yet corrected the software, which means some Apple programs and Google sometimes will not run this program. If it doesn't, you may need to open it in Firefox or Internet Explorer. But essentially what it's done now, it's come up with the commercial environment. It tells you what to do. I click on the next button. You've got an exit button, which will take you back to the start of your course page, glossary, which we've just had a look at, and the menu button's not yet active, and then click on the next button. Once you get into there, the menu button is now become active, look, and it's telling you you're on page 1 of 8, but it's asking you which one are you. So you can click on there, and funny old thing, all of these, you're all professional seafarers. So as you move down, you go through the pages, it tells you 2 of 8 now, a bit more information about what it's all around. Then next, and this particular page has got a scroll down arrow, which again allows me to read things on here. So it's quite a useful document. This one here, I'm going to go back to the menu, i.e. the beginning of the page, and I'm going to click on exit. So because don't close the program, because otherwise you have to log back in again. Once you've done that, work yourself through those and get a flavour of what the course is about. That will now prepare you for the mock assessments, which are really good to do because it prepares you for the final assessment, which are here. So all it is like it tells you how to use the PPR assessments. You've got 30 minutes each section, and I suggest again you use and look at the video. It's got the paperwork, which are basically it's got things like the CV of people working on the boats coding certificates, the life rafts and so on, which allows you to answer the questions in the mock assessment. So let's have a quick look at those. Now you can either print these off once you've opened them, or you can just click on them and save them on your PC and open them as and when you need them. Personally, we just keep ours electronically. However, if you want to, let's say, print them off, then just think of the poor old trees. I'm just going to go back to the course and scroll down. So once you've got all that paperwork available, you're now ready to sit the two sets of questions. You've got general knowledge and scenario. So have a look at the general knowledge. Obviously, I can't go into it, but it's telling you now you've got 3 attempts, you've got 40 minutes, and I can attempt the test. And I'll just simply click on the start attempt. But obviously, we can't because it would be giving it away. And then I cancel that and I go back to the course. Work through those, and then once you're happy that you've got those correct, then you are ready to move on to the final assessment. Now, make sure you've got everything prepared, you've got the documents open on the PC. I would suggest you use 2 screens or 2 computers to make it easy, so you can have PDF documents open, ready to flick to and search, but also you've got all this information ready or downloaded onto your PC at hand. So for example, exactly the same, it's got all the paperwork as for your mock assessments. Okay, so again, go back to the course, and then you're ready to do the final assessment as you did for the mock assessment. Once you've gone through that, as you can see, there's 15 questions on each one. Take your time. It doesn't sound like you've got long, but actually 60 minutes and 90 minutes for those 2 is pretty good. Once you've passed it, this section here will then become active, and this is how you print your certificate off. You would just click on there, and then that will print your certificate, which you can now submit to the RYA for your commercial endorsement. If you're already commercially endorsed, obviously it's just a revalidation. If you don't pass it, don't panic. You simply request another attempt and they will charge you £6 plus the VAT for the privilege. Okay, so that's basically it about the course. So good luck with it. If you have any serious problems or you're really worried about computers, we are considering running training courses from our office in the evenings. Ideally, it would be more than groups in 3 rather than individuals, because obviously because of its time and cost for ourselves. We haven't come up with a fee or anything yet, but it all depends on how many people come up to us on interest in doing it in the classroom rather than on the computer. But if you are, please give us a call. The numbers are on the website, or drop us an email. Phones are always on till 10 o'clock at night. Always best to get us after 6. Okay, thank you for watching and good luck with your course.